I'm on my way here now to Orangeburg to pick up that load I was talking about. I done got off of I-20. I'm out here on US 39 or Highway 39. Still got about 42 miles to get to the customer. It's 7:30 in the morning. I wish I was already there. Normally I try to get there early on these days like this. In fact, every time I've gone to this place, I've always gotten there early. I told the broker yesterday that I would be a little bit later, that I didn't want to get there at no 6:30, 7 o'clock. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I just didn't feel like leaving the house last night. I didn't feel like going down here to Orangeburg, trying to find a place to park late at night. That's normally what I do, is I get up, I leave the house late in the afternoon, get down there first thing in the morning so I can be first in line. Going to this place here, we'll find out today. Like I said, the load paid $3,000 to go to Fort Myers. It's only like 580 miles, so it's paying really good. I did have to go buy 2 new chains, 2 coil racks, 2 binders. When I started out with my step deck, I ended up with 10 chains, 10 binders, and 0 coil racks. I've made it here to my customer. So it's 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30, 8:24.
You been here before? Your trunk number?
33?
You know where to go? I'll see you on the way out.
All right. You know, yesterday I was talking about getting the DPF filters cleaned. I want to show you something here, if it'll show up. You see right here my RPMs. Right now the thing's in a regen state. It's at 800 RPMs. It's under a load. It should be down here around 600 idling, but it's up to 800. This is a normal state for it when it's doing a periodic regen going down the road. It's always done it. I remember the first time the truck was brand new, it had probably, 3,000 miles on it, or maybe even less. And if it's going down the road and it starts doing this, you'll never know it's doing it. But if it happens to, say it just came out of that state right now, say it just came out. But if it didn't finish, the minute that you take off at a red light or something like that, it'll go right back into that mode. I think, I don't know what it does. Maybe it stays in that mode for like 45 minutes or something like that, or an hour. It just wants to rev itself up. So if you're going down the road, you're running your RPMs at 1,500 RPMs, you'll never know it's in that state. But if you come through a town and you're at a red light, every time your RPMs drop below that 800, you'll notice it. Like, for example, you'll come into a red light or come to a stop or a stop sign. Here comes the guy right here to check me in. And then they load us over here on this dock right there. They come out there and they load us. And then you got to pull forward. And then after you pull forward, you chain down up in the front over there. So it looks like right now I've got a truck at the dock, possibly a preloaded trailer. Looks like we've got a yard jockey over here hooked up to a trailer, might fix to put it in the dock, and then a truck in front of me. So we got this truck, the little yard jockey pulling a truck, and then this truck. And the yard jockey grabs trailers out of over here, and you can see they preload them. Like they got one trailer there loaded, one over there loaded, another one down there loaded. It is so hot. I've already changed t-shirts. I'm fixing to pull out of here. Got this thing strapped down, got me some water, and fixing to head on to Fort Myers, Florida from Orangeburg. What time is it here now? It's 11:15 in the morning. And I got probably 550 or 580 miles. Let's see what my GPS says. Well, that's warming up, coming on. Let's go take a look at the load. So that's the load. 8 giant coils, or 7 coils. That's 14 chains, 14 coil racks. Coil racks go down here to hold the boards into place. But let me get back in the truck. It's freaking hot. My temperature on the truck is 108. It's just freaking hot. Oh, and the mileage down there is 556 miles from here to the address. That's what the GPS is showing here right now. So I got $3,000. So that's $5.39 a mile for this here load. But really and truly, it's only half of that, because it's 530, just say 4, it's 250, still 250, still good, even if I come out empty. More than likely I will. Of course I will look, but whether I actually get a load or not, I have no idea. Anyway, I'm fixing to head on out of here, get some airflow going. I've got about 40 more miles to my customer down here in Fort Myers. I was looking on my phone for loads coming out, and TQL's got one, and I emailed him. It's an email only load, so he ain't even answered back. It picks up in Fort Meade, Florida, goes to Summerville, South Carolina, 442 miles. That is not even including my deadhead. 40,000 pounds, stone barricades or concrete barricades, and he's wanting me to do it for 800 bucks. I emailed him back and said it's over 40,000 pounds, more than 500 miles with my deadhead. Can you do 1,400? He hasn't replied back. I just recorded a whole conversation, thought I was recording it, and didn't hit the record button. But there was a load here on the load board. This AI sounds almost like a real person nowadays. I realized it was an AI person after about the third question, just the way they were generating their questions. But it talks at a human pace and not a robot pace. Even has a little bit of an emotion in the voice. And I wish I would have recorded it. But there's a load going. They had it posted for, let's look at it on here. They got it listed to Virginia Beach. No, I'm talking about that. They got it from Gainesville, Florida to Fayetteville, North Carolina. They got $2.17 a mile on it. I would be willing to almost do it at that rate, maybe 1,200. That's what I was calling to ask them for, was 1,200. But then the AI person came back and said had 4 stops on it. So I went up automatically $100 a stop, was trying to get them at 16. Then the AI says, oh, we got a lot of interest in this load. Can you be closer to the posted rate of 1,000? I said, no, I'm not doing it. If they can do the 1,600, I can pick it up, but I'm not doing, let's see. And that was actually Circle Logistics with their AI crap now. West Palm Beach, Florida. Nolan Transportation, Miami, Florida. See, Miami to Massachusetts. Look at that crap, man. $2,700 from Miami. I'd have to steal deadhead another 170 miles south of here. Load going slap out to California, 4,400 bucks. Picking up in Palm Beach. Another Miami load, Miami to Connecticut. I'm fixing to head out of here. I'm gonna go to the truck stop at the exit that I got off of, which is about 4 miles from here. There was a pilot in Fort Myers. I'm gonna head over there and fix some lunch and see what goes on. See if there's take one more quick load, but I'm out of here. I'm not gonna waste my time in Florida. Well, I'm here in Tampa, Florida. The place I'm picking up in the morning is on the other side of this warehouse. There's a street over there, and it's a big steel mill. And they're tearing out the equipment and the machinery. And so I'm picking up about a 23,000 pound machine that's got to be tarped and carried up to Georgia, just a little bit south of Atlanta. I just came from getting something to eat. I crossed over this bridge right here. And that's downtown Tampa right there. This is the Causeway Bridge, Causeway Road. It's right here on the south side of Tampa coming in. But yeah, my scooter over there on the ground. I got about 2 more miles back to the truck. It's been raining all day. I got here, I can't load up this load till in the morning. I got to my customer about an hour ago, well no, a few hours ago. And they said come back in the morning. They didn't have it quite ready. In fact, the broker called me after I got finished with it and said if I showed up at 9:30 or 10:30, it might even be better. So I'm not sure if he spoke to somebody over there or not, because when I went over there, I checked in with them and they said come back at 7. Anyway, I just got back from my scooter. I rode about 3 miles from here to get something to eat. That little scooter comes in handy for those types of things. This is a brand new warehouse here. They got one here and then another one in front of it. The main road goes right out here. You go down the road about, well, just to the other side of those 2 warehouses. And then that's the place I'm picking up. It's actually, you could almost probably see the back side of it right through the corner of that building there. But I think there's still a little strip of woods right there at it where you can't really see it. But I found this place to park at for tonight, nice and quiet. It's swampy out here, look at this. Yeah, they had this load that I'm picking up in the morning listed for $1,200. I called him up on it. I was going to ask him try to get around 14 on it. Then he said he had to, because it's about 500 miles up there, about 480. So I think I was going to ask for around 12. And then he said it had a tarp. And so then I quoted him 1,800. And then he came back and said, can I do 15? And I'm like, man, it's too damn hot to be tarping loads in Florida. I said, and plus it's machinery. I said, is it crated? He said he didn't think so. He thinks it was coming out of a building. So I was like, well, yeah, I'm gonna be at the 18. So I got 1,800. I kind of lost today. I picked up a load yesterday in Orangeburg and brought it about 100 miles south of here to Fort Myers for the $3,000. And then I'm picking this one up, going back up to Georgia, like I said, just south of Atlanta. Got 18. I figured I might as well just go ahead and grab it. I mean, it's a little bit over $3 a mile, so it's really pretty good for loads coming out of Florida. It's rare that I get a load out of Florida. Very rare. So I should go get my camera over here and come out here and film some of these birds and palm trees over here in the front of me. I don't know if you can see them or not, but they got some really tall palms right in that little line over here. And then there's a nice little pretty lake over here. This is beautiful, beautiful areas. Florida's known for that. Little small ponds everywhere. Yeah, so this little area right here on Google Maps where I'm at, where these 2 warehouses are at, this road nor these 2 warehouses are on Google Maps. And this shows all wooded area. So every one of these trees out here is just native, just growing here. Guess I'm gonna walk on back over to my truck and put the scooter up and call it a day. And tomorrow morning I'll just go on the other side of these woods right here behind me and pick up that machinery and head on back up to Georgia and probably drop that off on Friday. And then
I'll probably just head on back to the house. I'll see what happens, if there's anything in that area. I can't even think of the name of the town it's going to. It's just kind of hard to put stuff out. It's kind of been a very slow go for me here lately. I've recorded a lot of stuff. In fact, I've got a lot of good stuff out there in New Mexico going down into Arizona. I was running across Interstate 40 a couple of months ago, just before I quit posting regularly, and went down this new route that I had never gone, cutting from 40 down to Phoenix before you get to Flagstaff. And so I went that way, and there was some beautiful canyons and things there. I went through there and filmed a lot of it, got out of the truck and took some, I think one place there was a big bridge there, and I probably spent about 30 minutes there. That's the problem with trucking, is when you're under a load, you just don't have too much time. And when you got to do 10 to 11 hours a day of driving, it's really, really hard to justify stopping 3 or 4 times to smell the roses, so to speak, because all you're doing is extending your day, and that's all you're doing is just extending your day. That's one of the bad things about trucking, is when I'm going across country, you know, I love shooting video and taking pictures. What am I going to do? Just stop on the side of the freeway and go, oh, there's a beautiful sign right there. I mean, not sign, beautiful scenery right there. You pull over, we're going to get the tripod out inside the freeway, and trucks running up and down Interstate 40, Interstate 80, Interstate 20, Interstate 10, going out west. You know, you can't do that. And then when you get to the exit ramp, you can't see nothing from there. The only time you can really sightsee is usually after you drop your load off. For example, like down here in Tampa. You know, if I wanted to now, since I got empty this morning, but I've already booked a load, but I would be able to take a day or two off in an area. That's usually about the best case scenario you can do, is rent a car in an area, or just rent a car in an area that you're in, and then sightsee that area for a day or two. You know, that's usually about as best you're going to get. And if you do that regularly, you're not going to make any money. You're going to be spending the money you made on the load you just delivered on the rental car and sightseeing where you were just at. So anyway, I'm almost back here to the truck. So I guess I'll call this a day. See you guys later.